All right, so I hope that you guys are motivated and see the true power of outsourcing. Now, let's take a look. John, how do we find the people? How does this all work?
So this is Onlinejobs.ph, obviously, which is my website. Uh, there's two options for finding people. You're either going to post a job or you're going to proactively contact people. So if you want to come here on the homepage, scroll back up a second. I just want to show something, right? So like right here, you see on the right side, there's WordPress experts or social media or design or SEO or programming, those 5 people, right? Just click on any one of them. I want to look at the profiles that you're going to see. So you clicked on designer, right? So the first thing you're going to see here is scroll down slowly. You're just seeing a bunch of listings that people have created for themselves that, like, these people are in the Philippines, they're coming and posting their profile here on Online Jobs. And they're telling you, like this guy that's just coming up, I'm a graphic designer responsible for creating banners, infographics, and web designs, right? So let's click on this guy and look at him.
Oh, there we go. All right, we're checking him out.
Okay, sweet. So, so first thing, notice this guy is hired. He already has a job, and actually he may have 2 jobs, which is interesting. Beyond that, if you look back up a little bit in the blue, you see his salary. He's asking for 15,000 Filipino pesos per month, which is 291 US dollars, and he says 10 hours a week. So let me explain these hours per week for a second. So I've seen people use this both ways, where they'll be like, oh, I can work 10 hours a week and I want 15,000 a month to work those 10 hours a week, which is $7 an hour. I've seen other people be like, hey man, I want $15,000 a month. I can work 10 hours a week. I can work 40 hours a week. I just want a job, but I want 15,000 a month for 40 hours a week, right? So, but obviously this guy is a talented graphic designer, and so he's probably about right at $7 an hour. So you'll see he has 3 years of experience in graphic design, 2 years with WordPress. Scroll down. You see his skill summary. I'm a graphic designer responsible for creating banners, infographics, web designs. I create mockups for creative email that we converted to HTML. I also know InDesign, some basics in Illustrator. So you can see, like, this guy has perfect English. Here's some of my works as a graphic artist. So you're getting a blurred screen here because in order to see contact information, you have to pay. So as an employer, you pay to see contact
What? This
info.
isn't all free? Oh no.
It's not all free, but dude, you can see so
Basically.
much for free. So if I don't want to read this whole thing because it gets boring, but like if you're looking for a designer, like this guy's good. So then you scroll down and now you see these are skills that he has rated himself in. So we have a huge list of skills that we let them rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 5. And we give them some guidelines. And so you'll see, like, this guy's a good designer. Don't hire him to write content, right? He says his writing skills are 3 out of 5, and his English is pretty good, but he's a designer. Don't hire him to be a designer and then ask him, hey, I also want you to write these articles, right? That doesn't make a lot of sense. And then you can expect him to, know some other things, but just generally, if someone says 2 or 3 stars on a skill, that means I know what this is. I'm not. I mean,
Nobody's ever going to give themselves a 1-star, basically.
well, usually no, right?
Yeah.
But what you're looking. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah. Everybody's always going to overrate themselves, but you can just adjust.
So they're not always. This isn't interesting in the Philippines, where they have this culture of shyness, and we'll talk about it later. But where sometimes they're not sure of their skills. Like, I don't know, am I really 5 stars? I'm really good at it. Am I really 5 stars? I don't know. Where you have other people that are like, dude, I'm 5 stars at this, right?
Oh, because he didn't give himself that many 5 stars.
Right. So he only gave himself 3 5 stars here. But there's a bunch of 4 stars, and we do limit the number of times they can rate themselves 5 stars because we want to make sure, like, we want to know the best things you're the best at, right? But I'll see other people that are like, you only rated yourself 4 stars in this, but I'm interviewing you, seeing that you're amazing at this. What's the deal? It was like, well, I didn't really know, So you get people that aren't so confident, but okay, so you can see there's like tons of skills here, right? Click back and just go back to the search results page. So as we scroll through these, like as I'm looking at the screen here, graphic designer, illustrator asking for 50,000 pesos a month, which is about $1,000 US dollars a month. Or here's a graphic designer for $770 a month, or keep scrolling, and 5 years of experience, or 9 years of experience, or here's $580 a month with 5 years of experience. Also understands e-commerce. He says he's a graphic design lead, right? So the point of this is there are so many talented people here at so many different levels of
Wow.
cost and experience, right?
Pages and pages.
Pages and pages. Oh yeah, pages. I mean, like, of graphic designers, there's probably 30,000 people here. So what are you gonna do? Well, you can go through and contact people, and we'll just tell you that the profiles are ordered according to who has been active most recently, right?
Oh,
So that's important, because if someone hasn't been active for a year, well, that probably means they have a job. And like I said before, if they're super loyal and you contact them, they're probably not going to respond to you if they already have a job, which is very often the case. So if you're going to go this route of like, oh, I want to look at profiles, I want to search for people, which, zoom out here for a second, and right at the top there's search resumes. So you have post a job or search resumes. Post something in the search resumes. What are you looking for? What do you want?
memes.
Memes.
Oh, you've got meme at someone who put memes in there.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's 60 people who put memes in their profile, right?
Wow, that's actually it's a very niche. So I mean,
Yeah.
to have
So
60
like,
people in there.
yeah, social media manager plus graphic designer plus internet researcher, dude, that's a meme creator right there, right? That's it. Um, and if you scroll through, okay, so you can't contact 60. You could contact 60 people, right? But usually, what I'm going to suggest, if you're going to go this route and like search people up, then you're going to contact 20 to 30 people. The mistake here is to narrow it down and say, here's the one. This is the guy I want to hire. The problem is, if he already has a job, he's not going to respond to you, and you're going to be disappointed. So the process of contacting people is contact them, contact 20 or 30. 20 or 30 that you think are reasonable. You don't have to spend a ton of time looking at them, just, they're reasonable, right? Of the ones who respond to you, now you're going to go into the interview process, and I'll talk about the interview process in a minute. But then you can look in more detail at their profiles, and then you can start comparing people, and you go through the interview process, right? And to do that, once you've upgraded, if you zoom out slightly, there's that blue contact button. So you can't contact people until you have paid, and that's how we make money. Is you're limited to you can see people's profiles, you can post a job, you can see job applications, you just don't get any contact info until you've paid.
And you guys don't take a percentage of their pay as most Eline or most services do, correct?
No, we don't. So how this works, and this is why we do this, because full time is so different than hourly. So you hire someone full time. Once you've hired someone, or part time, whatever. Once you've hired someone, you cancel with us. So it's basically just a recruiting fee. That $69 per month or $99 per month is a recruiting fee. You find someone, you've hired them, you work with them for a couple of weeks, you're good, dude. Cancel. What I know,
I've done it many times, but I always
yeah,
come back.
sweet. So what I know is, because I've been doing, I mean, we put this site up in 2009. It's 2019. I've been doing this for 10 years. Once you've seen this once, you're going to come back at some point. It may be a couple of years before you come back, because it's so different and so good. Like you've done. You've gone and paid and canceled and paid and
Yep, and
canceled,
then I
right?
think I paid 3 different times. Then
Yeah.
I always forget to leave it on for an extra month or two. I'm like, yeah, you guys got me. So, I mean, if you're like very conscious, I mean, the money is not the most important to me. So it's yeah, but like if you're very conscious, go in there 1 month and then you get yeah, pay
I'll
that.
give you a trick. I'll give you a trick. Join today, cancel today. You still have 30 days, 31 days, right? It just
Oh,
won't
and then you
rebuild.
don't get that recurring charge. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
good
So
idea.
if you join and then cancel immediately, you still have access for the 31 days.
Yeah.
So we've seen some profiles. Now you have an idea, right? So scroll up here, and now let's post a job. So in the top right, click post a job. So
Yep.
this
This is
is
what
the
I've
other
always done.
option of what to do. So in order to post a job, you gotta put in your name, email, password, because you're gonna get job applications, right? So I don't know if you want to log in or if you want to just
Yeah, I'll
create
log in
a
here.
dummy account, which would be fine.
Yeah, we could even look at my previous job postings, and you could rate me on
Totally,
how,
let's do it.
how good I was. Yeah, we'll make a template.
Just create a dummy account. You're fine.
create a dummy account. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go to post a job, right? And I don't want to go through this page specifically because that's not the point. But the point here is you're going to create a job title. You're going to create a job description. You're going to talk about a wage or salary, a type of employment, and your ID proof is fine, whatever. You can, and then you can select some skills, right? If you scroll down, that's it, right? That's all you're doing for your job. So let's talk about what to do when you're posting a job. This is my method, right? There's other people that have different methods. I'd love to see yours. I'll tell you, some people get super detailed in their jobs because they want very few people to apply. For me,
That's an approach that I've always taken. Yep. So, yep.
is getting super detailed. Yeah.
But the other approach.
So for me, I go halfway, where I'm going to give a few details, and then I'm going to also say, I'm looking for a full-time person. I'm looking for, this specific skill, like I want a social media manager, right? This is a mistake I see people do all the time. I need a social media manager who understands Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and Google AdWords and media buying. And it would be great if you can build my WordPress website and you can write articles and you can do some programming and you can make memes for me, right? Like, dude, that person doesn't exist.
Dude, I wish I would hire him.
I know. And you would be surprised at how many times I get emails from people saying like, hey, I want a person that does blah, right? Everything. Like, dude, you're trying to hire me and I can't even do all those things, right? So here's what I do is write a compelling job title. And then put some details in your job description, but Filipinos generally are shy. And by shy, this is how they describe themselves. They say they're shy. What they are is they are a pleasing culture. They don't want to let you down. So if you put a whole bunch of stuff in your job description, then the chance of someone saying, oh, I know how to do that, I know how to do that, I know how to do that, I don't know how to do that, I'm not going to apply.
Oh, so they won't even apply if they don't match everything.
Right. And not everybody's like that, but what you find is people who are super confident that will apply to everything, and then other people that are like, oh, I don't know that. That's the person you want, right? Probably is the person that like, oh, I know that and that and that and that. Oh, I don't know that, right? So they want to make you happy. They do not want to let you down. This is a critical thing in the culture piece of this is they don't want to disappoint you. And if they think they're going to disappoint you, they would rather just stay away. So in the job description, I'm going to give some, right? Then the salary, so what I showed you before about looking at profiles, you can get a pretty dang good idea of how much salary is just by looking at profiles. So go in, spend some time looking at profiles, and then you'll know like, oh, okay, I'm willing to pay $800 a month for this, or I'm willing to pay $400 a month, or I'm willing to pay $2,000 a month, whatever it is, right? Then at the bottom of it, you get the chance to select skills. And this goes into the same thing again. Like, don't put in a whole bunch of skills. If you put in a ton of skills, people are either going to completely ignore you or they're going to not apply.
So it's getting the vagueness of you're capable of this area. So it's actually easier than I thought. I've been going extremely detail oriented.
Yeah.
So I like that approach.
So now I have a couple things to add to this. If you're looking for a Facebook ads manager, not a social media marketer, a Facebook ads manager, right? I mean, this is like a super highly skilled position. You're not going to get that many people applying. So you can probably do whatever you want, right? You're still going to have very few people apply. A PHP programmer, you're going to have more people apply, but it's not going to be tons. But then I have someone contact me yesterday saying, hey, I had 160 applications in 48 hours. What am I going to do here, right? I had someone else say, dude, I left my job post on for 4 days and I had 500 applications.
Wow.
So now you're talking about like you posted data entry or general virtual assistant or stuff like that, right? Like something that somebody with no skills can do. And now you're getting hundreds of job applications. Okay. This is where some of these other tricks will matter. Where like I can weed through 30 applications, I can't weed through 300. So here's a couple things to do. Number one, I always require people. Actually, I don't always. It depends on the position. But the best thing I've seen people do to weed out. Remember, I guess let me talk about this. You're looking for someone who is detail oriented, who pays attention, and who's responsive, right? Who's going to show up every day and who's quick, right? And I'll talk about how to get that in a second. But the first thing to do is in your job post say, in your response to me, include this word in your subject line. So maybe that word is fuzzy, or it's the name of the job, or include your last name in all capital letters, or something like that. Do something like that. Because then if you get 300 applications, every one of them who didn't follow that, you can just ignore it. Like just delete it or archive it or whatever.
Yeah, so, I actually, I think I'll pull up for you guys as an example here. I actually have in the past. I've done that, exactly. You had to use your favorite animal in the subject line of the response, and then that was how I could just weed through it. Because then it was like, oh, if it doesn't have an animal in the subject, I'm not even going to read it.
Done. I'm not even going to read it, because that means you didn't read my job, just my job description, and that means you're just mass applying to jobs without reading anything, and I don't want you. Not interested, right? Okay, so, I mean, that's like posting a job, my experience of it. Other people will post detailed stuff. It just kind of depends on kind of depends on the position you're recruiting for and, you know, what you want here. And I've done both. I've posted detailed, depending, like a programmer. You know, I have some skills that I want, right? Or I hired a JavaScript developer recently and I wanted some specific skills. Or like, hey man, you're going to do some admin stuff. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know.
Do you actually use Onlinejobs.ph to hire your new, like if you're going to hire, you put it on Online Jobs? Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right.
This
so
is
you
why I created it.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. You know.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's a shame if you're like, but yeah, when I actually go to hire people for my company, I go here. No. So.
No. Yes, I recruit people. Yeah, actually, so we're currently developing. So when people come and see the website next, it may look totally different because we're currently doing a complete redesign of the site. And as I was looking through our email, like the messaging system that we're redesigning, I was like, oh yeah, here's a message from him who I hired. Here's a message from him who I hired. Here's a message from him who I hired. Oh yeah, I remember interviewing these 3 people I didn't hire. But yeah, of course I use it.
Good. That's good to hear. It passes the trust test. Yeah. We now trust you. So the initial way that we weed people out is the title. Okay, you can go detail or vague. Have you seen a difference in results between the vague and detailed? You know, maybe, or is that just not enough data and too hard to quantify?
No, I don't have enough. I can't really say. That kind of depends on what the job position is, what the skill set is, who the employer is. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So, but all that matters is, I mean, so basically you'll get more people if it's more vague, is what the main takeaway there is. Is that correct?
Yeah. And depending on what the job is, you may not want more people, right?
Okay, perfect. So then now how do we go through and actually read the results? Or should we ask for that's the other thing. Should we ask for resumes, projects, referrals? You know, what are those types of things that we want to ask for so that we can review and quantify and see, you know, who's going to be the best?
So for me, I have never once called a referral. So I don't ask for referrals, although I have asked for referrals on occasion just to see if will they give me something.
Yeah, right. Me too.
Right. But yes, so depending on who you're looking for, I want to see design work you've done. I want to see websites you've designed. I want to see active websites you've designed. I want to see projects that you've worked on for a programmer. You know, I want to see stuff, right? If it's an admin person, that's a different story, right? Like, it doesn't matter what you've worked on. I want to see you think, right? So here's my process for that. And like I've said before, the number one most important skill is English. Outside of a technical person, hire for English. And they don't have to be perfect. Depending on what you're going to do, if you're going to have them writing customer-facing content, then yeah, they've got to be perfect, flawless English. It's fine. That's easy to find. Otherwise, it doesn't have to be flawless English. But now that you've contacted people, I'm going to get a little bit controversial here with you, probably.
Ooh.
You've either contacted people or you have posted a job and had people contact you, right? And just so you know, either way, you're going to get emails into your personal inbox. You're going to get emails into your online jobs messaging system, and also they get forwarded into your personal inbox. So if you want to recruit using your Gmail, great, use your Gmail. If you want to keep it all within online jobs, you can just keep it within online jobs. You'll get a message at some point that says, "Stop sending these messages to me into your personal email."
Yeah, in my job postings, I would actually say, don't apply on online jobs. Send me an email. But I don't know, maybe does that hurt your search? Like maybe people aren't applying, or
No, I mean you can do that. That's fine.
I just done that because there's somebody that would take the extra step to open up their email.
Yeah, but those emails are going to get sent to you because we wanted this to be flexible. Like the way I recruit, I want it in my inbox. I want it in my personal. I'm looking at my email every day, right? And I find people that are like, "Hey, go fill out this Google form," and that's fine too. Whatever.